Season 10 just dropped with the largest variety of viable builds we've ever had in Diablo 4. Today, I'm showing you the absolute best build for each class, plus one that's just pure fun. Because while some people enjoy 15-minute pit runs watching health bars slowly drain, I'd rather play something actually enjoyable. Let's get into it. Sorcerer. Starting with Sorcerer, and this is the only class where the strongest build is also the most fun. Ball Lightning Sorcerer is beyond broken in Season 10. Why is it broken? Chaos powers. Advanced techniques specifically. This thing is disgustingly overpowered, especially with Ball Lightning because you can stack 50 plus ranks to the skill. That's insane damage multipliers. Each rank is a multiplicative increase, and by the time you hit 50 ranks, the numbers are absolutely stupid. The downside, increased mana cost, actually a buff. By spending more resources per cast, you trigger Banished Lord's Talisman to overpower each cast. Ball Lightning already has high mana cost, so this synergy is perfect. You're overpowering constantly. But how do you sustain the mana cost? Mana Shield Chaos perk. This is the most broken defensive mechanic in the game. You take damage through your mana instead of life. Your mana scales with intelligence. You become unkillable, and you get 5000% mana Regan when you're not taking damage. Pop Flame Shield for a few seconds, you're immortal. Mana bar completely refills. Resource problems solved forever. For maximum damage in difficult content, use Strike of Stormhorn unique. Hundreds of percent additional damage, absolutely unmatched. For pit pushing and tower, this is mandatory. For speed farming, Torment 4 and lower pits, use Oculus instead. Balls spin around you, teleport on enemies. One tap everything, move on, no aiming required. And with Flicker Step enchantment on normal boots, you have perma teleport with almost zero cooldown reduction investment. Fast, efficient, broken. This will be my main build this season. It's strong enough for endgame, fast enough for farming, and actually fun. Ball Lightning was already clearing pit 120 on PTR, dealing trillions of damage. Absolutely recommend as your Season 10 starter. Rogue! Rogue has two standout builds this season. Let's cover both because they're very different playstyles. Death Trap Rogue. Still the dominating Rogue build for multiple seasons. Blizzard keeps trying to nerf it every patch, it keeps coming back. Same damage, same speed, same clear capabilities. But it's now significantly harder to get online. What changed? Aftermath passive got obliterated. Used to give hundreds of energy back, making resource management trivial. Now it only gives 35 energy. Basically useless. You need to temper ultimates restore energy now, which competes with cooldown reduction for the same temper slot. Both are mandatory. This makes gearing expensive and annoying. That's why I only recommend Death Trap when you're deep into endgame with optimized tempers and enough cooldown reduction from multiple sources. As a league starter, it's rough. You'll feel resource starved and clunky. Now the fun build, Poison Trap Spin to win. This used to be a complete meme. Now it's legitimately one of my favorite builds of all time. How does it work? Reworked Bursting Venom's aspect. You spam lucky hits all over the screen while spinning. Every lucky hit triggers the aspect and drops poison traps automatically. You're not manually placing them. The aspect does it for you, and because you're spinning through dense packs constantly, you're proccing this dozens of times per second. Poison traps everywhere add 2 uniques. Bands of Icarus Rose Ring substantially increases poison trap damage and lets you have twice as many active. More traps equals more damage and coverage. Scoundrel's Leather's Chest is even more important. It lets you throw poison traps while using movement skills, so while spinning it feels like aimbot. But more importantly, it converts poison trap to a core skill. This means you can stack core skill damage multipliers from gear, paragon, aspects, everything. Multiplier after multiplier after multiplier. Your damage skyrockets. Chaos power hit and run. Stack 50% damage multiplier every 15 meters you move. This build is already capped movement speed, so you're constantly moving and stacking this like crazy. Damage ramps up incredibly fast. This build was clearing pit 90 on PTR. With post PTR buffs, probably pit 100 or higher now. Critical note, you must temper traps arm faster on your gear. Without this, you throw traps too fast and they don't arm properly. The build completely breaks, but once you have movement speed, main uniques, poison burst aspect, and the arm faster temper, this build feels absolutely incredible. Necromancer. Necromancer has multiple strong builds this season. Blood Wave, Bone Spirit, Bone Spear, Minions. But the absolute strongest is Shadow Blight. Shadow Blight got giga buffed. Every 8th shadow damage you deal triggers a Shadow Blight explosion. The damage scaling got a 5.5 times additional multiplier. It can crit now. It double dips with additive shadow damage. The aspect gives insane bonuses. This skill is nuts. How do you proc it consistently? Soul Rift, now spammable thanks to Alter the Balance Chaos perk. This perk makes ultimate skills completely spammable with 0 cooldown. cooldown. Your Blight goes on cooldown instead, but you won't need it for most content anyway. You just spam Soul Rift constantly, trigger Shadow Blight explosions everywhere, delete everything. This build is pit 100 plus capable with good gear. Strong, consistent, reliable. Great for pushing and farming. Fun build, Bone Splinters. We covered this way back in Season 4. It was already good then, but had massive issues. Uniques didn't work, Splinters didn't pierce, you had to be inside enemies to hit them. Now everything is fixed. New unique Gospel of the Devout makes Splinters pierce. Game changer, Shattered Spirits aspect spawns Splinters when you cast Bone Spirit. You cast one Bone Spirit, you get 36 Splinters spawning with a 10 times damage multiplier. Absolutely busted damage. Not an early game build. You need endgame tempers for cooldown reduction, preferably the unique, and proper gear setup. But once you're online, the build feels amazing. Watching 36 Splinters fly out and delete everything is incredibly satisfying. Druid. Druid has insane build variety in Season 10, multiple builds clearing pit 100 plus, but the best is still Pulverize. No surprise there, Pulverize was best last season, now it's even better with Chaos perks. Overabundance Chaos perk generates massive damage. Brawn over Brains got buffed after PTR for some reason. Not only grants huge damage multiplier, but also makes you basically immortal. Defensive and offensive in one perk. Rotting Nightbringer can now be equipped as chest armor instead of two-handed weapon. This frees up your weapon slot. You can use a better two-handed weapon now, which more than doubles your damage again. Insane power spike. Playstyle is same as Season 9. Spam Pulverize, everything dies. But now you're dealing way more damage and you're tankier. You can play this build from level 1 and it just gets better and better until endgame, where you're dealing trillions of damage per hit. Fun build? Raven Druid. Ravens have been absolute garbage for 10 seasons straight. Not anymore. New unique Kilt of Blackwing changes everything. Massive Raven ranks, chance to deal double damage, huge multiplier from the aspect. But the key thing is you can spam Ravens by shapeshifting or using any companion skill. This opens up multiple playstyles. Shred and spawn Ravens, maul and spawn Ravens, whatever you want. Combined with Savagery Chaos perk. Huge multiplier, but more importantly, it turns companion skills into core skills. This means all your Ravens count as core skills now. You can stack core skill damage from everywhere. Gear, Paragon, aspects. The scaling is ridiculous. With all the buffs and bug fixes, this is now one of the best and most fun builds in the game. If I'm not playing Ball Lightning Sorcerer, I'm 100% playing Raven Druid. It's that good. Barbarian. Barbarian meta looks similar to previous seasons but with substantial buffs. Probably 10 plus different Barbarian builds clearing pit 100 this season. Great variety. Strongest build is still Lunging Strike. Insane speed, insane damage, great clear. Only real downside is Hordes, where other builds perform better for that specific content. What changed this season? Battle Trance unique is now actually usable. You can stack Frenzy charges without using Frenzy skill. This gives huge multiplier and attack speed. Stats on the unique are disgusting too. With greater affixes, you can get 40 plus max Fury or Strength. Fury is perfect for Ramaladni's sword scaling. You can even play Lunging Strike without actually using Lunging Strike. Play Frenzy as your main skill. Trigger Lunging Strike automatically for additional damage. Bleed application and Berserking uptime. This is probably the first time Frenzy has ever been genuinely good in Diablo 4. Build is similar to Season 9, but stronger across the board. Fun build, Hammer of the Ancients. This skill has been absolute trash since it got nuked back in Season 5. It's been a meme build for ages, now it's actually good with real damage. What changed? HOTA deals extra damage per amount of Fury again. That alone is a big buff. Frenzy buffs we talked about earlier apply here too for attack speed. But the biggest buff is you can equip Ramaladni's as chaos armor on your chest instead of as a weapon. This means you still get the massive damage multiplier from Ramaladni's, but you can use a better two-handed weapon. You're getting crit damage from Fury stacking and the Ramaladni's multiplier. Double scaling. HOTA is back and viable. If you missed playing it, definitely give it a shot this season. Spiritborn. Spiritborn's best build technically is Kepaleke Touch of Death. It's great for pit pushing and has the highest damage ceiling, but it's clunky as hell to play, so let's focus on two genuinely fun builds instead. Gorilla build. Absolutely disgusting in Season 10. Focus entirely on Gorilla skills. New unique grants 15 Gorilla skill ranks and doubles your damage when using Gorilla Ultimate. That ultimate got reworked too and now grants even more damage on top. Multiple ways to play this with different chaos powers. Evade version, basic skill version, standard version. All viable for pit 100 plus. Standard version is my personal favorite for feel and playstyle. Final build, Evade Spiritborn. This has insane speed, aimbot targeting, great in hordes, and everything else. It's been strong since Season 6, now receiving massive buffs. Eagle Spirit Halls got reworked with strong damage buffs. Alacrity makes it way easier to get online by resetting Evade cooldown more consistently. Biggest buff of all, you can equip 3 two-handed weapons simultaneously. I have no idea where you're storing them, but somehow they all work at once. Crazy multipliers from this? Want fast, brain-dead, efficient gameplay? This is it. On PC, bind evade to scroll wheel, start scrolling, you're permanently evading across the map. Extremely fun and satisfying. That's your complete guide to the best and most fun builds in Season 10. Every class has multiple viable options, and this is genuinely the most balanced and diverse season we've had in Diablo 4. If this helped you pick your starter build, leave a like and subscribe for more Season 10 guides. What are you playing? Drop it in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you in Sanctuary.